Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, we're going to be looking at some Raiders training camp winners and losers because on Tuesday, the Raiders took a flight to Canton, Ohio, where they are getting ready for the NFL Hall of Fame game. They're going to visit the Hall of Fame tomorrow with head coach Josh McDaniels. I was really excited that they were going to do that together as a team. So what you're going to see here on today's show is a week ago, I did training camp winners and losers. Today, I have them ranked. So the winners, I have ranked from 10 all the way down to 1. The losers, I have ranked from 5 to 1. So the people who are number 1, they're the biggest training camp winner. Let's go to number 10 here on my list. It's Jayon Brown, linebacker for the Raiders. To me, there's clearly a top 3 linebacking unit. It's Brown, it's Parham, it's Diablo. And I'm not really surprised about this because I told y'all when the Raiders signed Brown that he's got really good coverage ability. And so far from what I've been told, he's the best coverage linebacker on the team, which, thank the frickin' Lord, because that's what Corey Littleton was supposed to be. And we know Denzel Perriman's going to be that number 1. He's the number 1 linebacker. Is he a liability in coverage? Yes. But because Brown's ability to also get after the run when need be, and because he is a superior coverage linebacker, I've been told that he could get some extra linebacker 2 reps over Divine Diablo. At number 9 of my training camp winners, offensive guard John Simpson. He's been getting most of the starting left guard reps, which if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have been pretty surprised about that. His power, his strength, it is pretty impressive, and he looks good in run blocking drills. He just needs to get a little bit better in the pass blocking drills. But if the season were to start today, by all accounts, I think he would end up being the starting left guard. Now, if you love the Raiders, I want you to scan that QR code right over there, subscribe to the Raiders Report, or you can look underneath the video if you're on your mobile device. Click the subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Why should you subscribe to the Raiders Report? Man, we got videos going out every day, and because the season is here, now you're going to get 2 live videos. I'm going to do a watch party every week, and I'm going to be live on Tuesday, and then if there's more breaking news, we're going to break it all down for you. We're interactive. More subs equals more views. It's 100% free. The way I would describe it is this. Imagine getting a free meal at a restaurant and then not tipping your waiter. The easiest way to tip me, the waiter, is by hitting that subscribe button. At number 8 here are my training camp winners. It's Anthony Averett. He's going to be opposite of Rocky Sin as the starting corner. And personally, I think even if Trayvon Mullen is healthy, Anthony Averett is going to be the starter. And because of Mullen's injury issues, that has benefited Averett quite a bit. Coaches love Averett's competitive nature. They love his tenacity. They love the fact that he's just getting out there and getting after it. And apparently, he only wanted to get matched up against guys like Hunter Renfrow, guys like Davante Adams. And I love that mindset because I always have the mindset that iron sharpens iron. At number 7 coming in is safety Duron Harmon, who continues to get most of the starting reps at safety. And I'll probably talk about the Raiders depth chart that was released today, and I've said this on Twitter. I told y'all before some of the live shows started, take it with a grain of salt. Was Jonathan Abram listed above Harmon? Yes, but I'm telling you right now, Harmon's going to be the main safety that you see out there next to Trevon Merrick, and it's because of his leadership skills. It's because of his ability to cover better than Abram. And there's a good chance, okay? There is a good chance that Duron Harmon could end up being one of the team captains. I'm going to call it right now. I know some of the captains are going to be like Derek Carr. I believe you're going to see somebody like Darren Waller, Max Crosby. But do not sleep on the idea of Duron Harmon potentially being a team captain here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, those are already, we went through 10, 9, 8, and 7. And as the list continued to go down and down, it did get a little bit difficult for me personally. But here's my question to all of you. I just talked about Averett. I just talked about Harmon. Out of those 2 players there, who do you think's better? Who's the better guy in the secondary? Is it Averett? Type A. If you think it's Duron Harmon, I want you to spam H. Let's go to number 6 here on the list. It's Brandon Parker. He's the favorite to win the right tackle job. But Mitch, the depth chart had Alex Leatherwood listed as the starting right tackle. I looked at that depth chart. There was a lot of wonky things about it, no doubt about that. Parker's footwork has greatly improved, and when you listen to all the beat reporters out there, at least the credible ones, it is Parker's job to lose. And I think the reason why Leatherwood is listed as the number one is because there's going to be a shot that he plays in the Hall of Fame game, which I could make the argument. Guys playing in the Hall of Fame game is usually not so much of a good thing. Also, you could really see that Carmen Bracillo is helping the growth of Parker. He's 6'8". Bracillo has always personally liked some of these bigger players, bigger offensive tackles, and for Parker, that makes him a winner in my book. Speaking of winning, I like betting on sports, and I like to win. So here's my question to all of you. Do you bet on sports? Type that Y for yes, or you can type your N for no. And if you're typing that Y for yes, I do want you to listen up here because I was on BetUS today, and I found some really freaking cool odds, which I'll share with you all in a second. But if you're looking for the best betting deal on the internet, all you got to do is go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Use promo code Raiders125. That gets you 125% deposit bonus. For those of you that aren't sure what that means, it means if you deposit $100, you get $125 for free to bet with. That's $225. That's a lot of money. And two of the bets that I want you to make right now. I know it's a little bit ballsy, but who doesn't like a good ballsy bet? And you get all that free money anyway, so you can do it. If you put $10 down right now on Derek Carr to win the MVP at plus 2,000 odds, risk $10, you win $200. What about Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year at plus 2,500? Risk $10, you can win $250. How do you take advantage of the deal? By going to chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125. That way, BetUS knows that you were sent from the Raiders Report. Coming in here at number 5 of my training camp winners, it's Derek Carr. And Carr has looked crisp in practice, and we know that he's the leader of this team. Nobody was really going to dispute that. When I talked to some of the old players that I met at the whole burger eating competition, they couldn't say enough nice things about DC. And now he's taking even on more of a leadership role. His weapons are the best he's ever had between Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Davante Adams. Though that is a legit unit right there. And then you add all the other pieces. That's why this offense has the opportunity to be very, very special. On top of that, the Raiders' red zone offense is going to be better. It has looked better, and it goes back to Josh McDaniels. It goes back to these players running laps when they're in the red zone, and they don't convert every single time. So what I want you to do right now is give me a number. Derek Carr's career high in passing touchdowns is 32. That's his career high. The single-season record for Las Vegas was set by Daryl LaMonica with 34. So my question to everyone out there, how many passing touchdowns for Derek Carr this season? I'm going to be looking down in the comments. And touchdowns might be going to this next winner right here. You can call him T-Billy. I'm going to call him Tyron Johnson. Coming in here at number 4 on my list. His speed, that 4.36 speed, it's eye-popping. It's noticeable. It's not quite the speed of what you saw last season in Henry Ruggs. However, when you have a player that can stretch the field, it really limits a defense's ability to be able to double up guys like Adams, double up somebody like Waller, double up somebody like Renfrow. And if I have a one-on-one with Johnson and he burns somebody, that's all Johnson needs is 1 or 2 targets. Plus, he's got punt return ability. He's got kick return ability. He's got that extra chemistry with Derek Carr, which is noticeable, especially in the red zone, because my only knock on Johnson has been, can you rely on him in the red zone? Sounds like he's making a lot of touchdown catches at training camp. Coming in here at number 3 for my training camp winners is Darien Butler, the UDFA linebacker out of Arizona State. And anytime you sign a linebacker, you never know, or I guess I should say every time you sign a linebacker after the draft, the shot for them to make the team is not good. The fact that there has been injuries to Kyler Fackrell, Micah Kaiser, this has really opened the door for Butler. And even though he's getting predominantly second-team reps, that extra work with Antonio Pierce from his previous years in Arizona State, who is now the Raiders linebacking coach, is absolutely paying off. And if somebody were to ask me, do I think Butler makes the team? I'd probably say yes. Coming in here at number 2 for my training camp winners, it's Mack Hollins, wide receivers. And I'll be honest with y'all, it was really hard figuring out who's having a better training camp, Hollins or Tyron Johnson. He's an incredible athlete. At 6'4", 220 pounds, he's impressive at special teams. And not only has he been impressive in special teams, but the growth of a receiver that he has shown this offseason, it deserves a round of applause. And there's a legit chance that he could be the Raiders' wide receiver 3. Davante Adams is there, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. Those are your top 3 target getters. If then you're looking to throw another receiver in the mix who could be a safety blanket, could be that red zone option, Mack Hollins, I'm telling y'all right now, is a very sneaky candidate out there to be one of the better Raiders players this upcoming season. But number 1, the biggest training camp winner, it's got to be Lester Cotton. He continues to work as the starting right guard. I mean, y'all, we're talking about a guy who didn't even make the team last season. Yes, Denzel Good's retirement helps the chances of him still being able to get on the field, but Derek Carr said it best the other day, and I really truly think words are one thing, but when you see emotion behind words, that's when I feel them. And I hope when I come on this show, y'all can feel my emotion for this team. But Derek flat out said, I am very proud of Lester Cotton. And it reminded me of a father figure saying that to their kid. You know why he's proud? Because Cotton's been working his freaking tail off, and he has a realistic chance to not only make the team, but actually get some starting reps, which makes him the biggest winner at training camp. But what do y'all think? That's what the Raiders Report's about here. Type S for start. Or if you think Cotton's going to end up being a backup for the Silver and Black, you can let me know. And I will say this, we got to get those sex bots out of my live show right now. So will Lester Cotton start at right guard? Type S for start, or I want you to type B for backup. And because we're talking about training camp, and usually the offseason is hype season, I figured I would also throw in some honorable mentions here that could have made the list, like Rock Ya-Sin, Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Dylan Parham, Thayer Munford, Andre James, Alex Barr, Sam Webb, Gerri Green, and Justin Hall. These were some players that I also thought deserved a little bit of love in terms of honorable mentions. But what do y'all think? What does the nation out there believe? I want you to give me the biggest Raiders training camp winner so far. I want you to tell me in the comment section. If you see this video on Twitter, quote tweet me. If you see it on Instagram, well, shit, put his name on an Instagram story and tag me. I want our shows to continue to grow here at the Raiders Report, and the only way that's possible is if you participate with me. Coming up next here on the show is Raiders training camp losers. It's part of the gig. I hate doing it, and it's very hard to be able to break down this time of the season because, well, we haven't really seen too much, and a lot of it is overreactions, so let me just say that off the top. At number 5 here for my Raiders training camp losers, Trayvon Mullen. Currently on the PUP list, not sure when he's going to return, and the fact that he's been out and Anthony Averett's been looking good, like I said earlier, I believe Averett is going to be the cornerback 2 no matter what here, and if Mullen can work his way in, congratulations, but I'm going to call you a liar if you can look at me and say, I have confidence in Trayvon Mullen being healthy soon. I have confidence in Trayvon Mullen being healthy this season. Sorry, I'm going to call you a liar. Let's go to the next training camp loser here. It's Jarrett Stidham, and even though it sounds like Stidham is going to get the start up against Jacksonville, I have been told by Raiders players that Nick Mullins continues to look better, but Stidham does have the better understanding of the offense. And because he hasn't looked good, I was told by a source that he's thrown at least 7 interceptions at training camp. That's not great. Luckily for him, I guess Mullen hasn't looked good either, but you got 2 quarterbacks going back and forth, and I think that this quarterback battle is going to come down to what happens in the preseason. Now, the Raiders Report here is all built on that interaction, and I appreciate everyone who has helped us get to 115,000 subs. Shout out to Kay Harrell, shout out to Angel, Zayo, MyBad61, and Ray Cates for newly subscribing to the show. And because you guys are new subs, you might not know that I'm going to be live for the Hall of Fame game, and I want you to join me. Why? It's going to be a live show, 4 hours. We're going to bring that tailgate energy. I'm going to have a hell of a time. There's going to be thousands of people watching, and I want you to join us on Thursday. Oh, God. At 7:45 Eastern Time. I'm so excited I lost my breath. Or 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be rolling. Make sure you're subscribed if you can't watch the game in your area. Let's go to number 3 here on my list of training camp losers, and I'm just going to put all the defensive tackles in just one big old happy group here. Jonathan Hankins, Bilal Nichols, still on the PUP list. Butler has been battling injuries, and even when he's been on the field, hasn't been impressive. And I can make a legitimate argument right now that the Raiders have the worst defensive tackle room in the National Football League, which is kind of aggravating to me considering the fact of how many years the Raiders' defensive line has struggled. I am a believer that the battles in and games are won in the trenches, and it's why I want to rip my hair out, though the fact that the Raiders haven't gone out and gotten a freaking defensive tackle yet. At number 2, it's going to be Clelin Ferrell here for Camp Losers. He's missed 3 straight practices. I believe this number is actually 4 now, if my memory serves me correctly. And despite a $9.98 million dead cap hit, if cut, I've been told that it's at least been brought up in discussion. So the fact that coaches and staff are talking about it, despite the fact that he could, it's going to be a $9.98 million cap cut, that tells me if the money wasn't there, Clelin Ferrell wouldn't make the team. But because the money's there, they want to try the project. They want to see how it works. But the biggest training camp loser, I got to say it's Alex Leatherwood. And it really shouldn't be that much of a surprise. He's losing the right tackle battle. And the fact that he's losing that tackle battle makes him a loser. Was the depth chart released today have Leatherwood at RT1? Yes. But I think that's more to do with the fact that you're going to see him in the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. Thayer Munford was getting reps over him. I will admit, that's probably an overreaction. They were just trying to see how it ended up working out. On Monday's practice, Leatherwood was getting the start at right tackle. They had Brandon Parker working as a backup left tackle. When I saw him talk the other day, I thought Leatherwood personally looked, I don't know if mentally defeated is a fair statement, but he kind of looked mentally defeated. We'll see if this is an overreaction or wrong, but according to all reports and according to what a lot of people are saying, I think Alex Leatherwood has to be the biggest training camp loser, though I hope that that's an overreaction. So here we go. Don't lie to me. You wouldn't lie to your mom. You wouldn't lie to your dad. At least I hope not. What's your confidence level in Alex Leatherwood? I want you to scale that from me from 0 to 10. 0 being you got no confidence in Leatherwood whatsoever. 10 being he's the best right tackle in the National Football League. All right, y'all, before I head on out of here, remember, training camp winners, we got them ranked from 1 to 10. If you want to take a screenshot of this, post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram. Just always remember to tag me at MitchellRenz365 because that's how the show grows. And then for my training camp losers, Leatherwood through Ferrell to defensive tackle room to Stidham to Trayvon Mullen. Those were my training camp losers. Those were my training camp winners. I appreciate everyone who watched to the very end of the show. And if you made it to the end of the video, I want you to get hyped like Derek Carr is in this picture because you're a real one. And the real ones watch to the very, very end. So if you are a real one here for the Raiders Report, I want you to spam real one right now down in the comments.